GM. So, I want to break down my exact approach for the next few weeks. I see a lot of people, and rightly so, a bit concerned about rising interest, open interest, rising funding rates. I think the market is going to be able to sustain higher leverage and more degenerate behavior for longer than you think, because we have a return of risk appetite, and we have actually many charts that are not at extremes. So as long as your asset allocation is good, you will be fine throughout this period, in my opinion. So here's exactly how I'm approaching it. 80% spot long, 10% trading, 10% cash on the side. Meaning, the vast majority of my portfolio is long Bitcoin, AKT, Ethereum, right? I'm holding that Ethereum I've locked it up for farming an airdrop on Manta, a layer 2 chain. I just basically bridged a bunch of Ethereum over. So I can't unlock that Ethereum for like 2 months. So effectively I'm long Ethereum. I swapped some of my Bitcoin into Ethereum to do that. So anyway, that's kind of a side point. The part I want to talk about is I've got back into Pepe, which I exited part of my position on, and I've re-entered this evening. And I've re-entered more Pepe coin, and I've re-entered the multi-bit. Some positions I took profit on a few days ago. The reason for that is because being long spot right here is not high risk, in my opinion, on those charts. Pepe is still consolidating under a breakout. So of course it can flush down. You can have quick wicks, leverage flushes, but it's not at new highs. Multi-bit is consolidating after a significant run-up and consolidating in a very bullish pattern, bullish formation. It's again not breaking to new highs yet. Pepe coin, same thing, broke up above 100 mil market cap and is consolidating sideways now for 4 days. And so obviously Pepe coin has no perps, no leverage, so that's good. Multi-bit has no leverage, no perps, so that's good. And Pepe itself does have leverage and has high funding, but the way you want to approach it is over the next few weeks. I think the frogs outperform. I think anything related to Ethereum outperforms. I think Bitcoin outperforms, and I think Bitcoin beta, Bitcoin ecosystem outperforms. Why? Well, it's quite obvious. Bitcoin ETF is coming. Ethereum is already very clearly starting to show strength. I don't think Ethereum will have a massive run before the ETF. I think that will mostly come after. Ethereum has really positive catalysts coming. The Dankun upgrade, which happens on the 17th of January, which has been now announced, the actual date. So it just doesn't really matter what it is. It just means it's a catalyst for Ethereum. You've also got Ethereum ETF narrative, which will take off as soon as the Bitcoin ETF is done. And obviously, as well as that, Ethereum has had a lot of shit thrown at it recently with the Solana maxis getting really vocal. So timing is right for Ethereum. Timing is right for Bitcoin, as we still have the ETF to come. And the ecosystem. So Ethereum beta, that's things like Optimism and Arbitrum. I'm not trading either of them. I'm trading Pepe, because Pepe is an Ethereum-based token, and Pepe has always acted as quite high beta to Ethereum. You'll notice that when Ethereum pumped a couple of days ago, yesterday, last night, whatever, Pepe pumped right along with it. That's because that has been Pepe's correlation, at least in the time that it has existed since its first initial big pump. Also, obviously, you've got Trump, the Republican primaries in January, Pepe and both Pepes being the Trump coins, right? So obvious narrative there. And then the BRC20, which I think it might lag, but I'm willing to bet that multi-bit will still do well because it's an Ethereum token. It's an ERC20, so it's on Ethereum, so it will benefit from Ethereum going up. And it's a bridge between Ethereum and Bitcoin. And Ethereum and Bitcoin together are the two strongest narratives for the next month. Bitcoin's is obvious. Ethereum's is a combination of this, revenge trade where Bitcoin or Ethereum has been lagging for so long and it's ready to run, and it's obviously broken out of an 18-month range. and Bitcoin with its ecosystem growing, the ordinals, inscriptions, all that. I think all of that is just rock solid, clear narratives that if you're in spot only, and you're long from lower, or you're long, sensibly from around these consolidations, I think you will do fine over the next month. No leverage, zero leverage for me. And if you're going to add any, it should be after you see a flush. I'm not saying we can't flush. We could have 20% altcoin dips, but what's going to catch people out is they're going to long the wrong stuff. So particular sectors that I see struggling in the next month might even be AI, because I don't see a clear narrative for it. And a lot of the AI coins have had significant runs. I could be wrong. Maybe there's a big narrative, a big catalyst coming. But I think the focus is going to shift more and more towards Bitcoin and ETH. So I think your eyes want to be drawn towards Bitcoin and ETH and those related tokens for the next month. And after that, we'll see where we're at with the market. Solana has done well. It's gone up to 100. I think, again, I would never call a top on Solana. That's stupid. It's got momentum. But if Solana is ever going to cool off, it's probably at the round number of 100. And when attention starts to shift towards Ethereum, it might steal a bit of the limelight temporarily. And anything else that's been running, I think, will struggle, because once Bitcoin and Ethereum really get going, they're so big that they take a lot of they suck all the air out of the room. Right? So when Bitcoin and Ethereum really get going, they will suck up so much capital and their ecosystems that I think that will lead to other alts underperforming. I don't necessarily think that a big crash is the thing to fear. I think the thing to fear is underperformance. I think big crashes, I don't see a big crash, because even if there's a 20% correction, I think it gets bought up quite heavily, because it would just be a leverage flush, and we still have the big catalyst coming in January. So that's how I'm approaching it. Hope that helps.